Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I want to talk to you about the latest batch of news for STO on both PC and console. As always, chapters are listed down below. The first thing I want to talk about today is some follow-up to the video I released going over the uncertain future of Star Trek Online. It's been about 2 weeks now since the articles from Game World Observer and Massively OP first dropped mentioning the potential layoffs, and in the time since, Kale has repeatedly stated that nothing has actually changed for any of the teams over at Cryptic. To me, it's looking like a lot of the folks over there simply have seen all of the other game studios owned by Embracer experience layoffs and just want to have options available if they're needed. And that's one of the guesses that I had talked about in that video. Now, there's a couple clips also from the recent 10 forward that I do want to play here, and Kale basically just repeats, that nothing has changed, and he goes over how long he thinks STO has left.
Keelagon, I'm glad you brought that up because I know somebody was going to tonight. The only thing I can say is what I said on Twitter. There have been no changes to any of the teams of Cryptic, and as you can see, I still work here.
So, nobody has been removed from any of the teams at Cryptic. And regarding the game,
I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. What the official word I've been given is that STO is not going anywhere. And same thing for Neverwinter, and same thing for Champions. Now, the reason I hesitated to say that is because the gaming industry is volatile right now, and God knows what could change tomorrow. But as of this moment, at this stream, there's no plans to shut down any of Cryptic's games. So don't worry.
so again, reiterating that STO's not going anywhere. And he also stated that he thinks STO has a bit of life left to it.
I'll tell you what, I think STO has another like 10, 15 years on it, so
I think 10 to 15 years might be a little bit optimistic, but like I said in the uncertain future video, I don't think STO is going anywhere anytime soon, and I think 10 to 15 years might be a bit optimistic for the game still being developed. I could see the game potentially being put into a maintenance mode by that point, but I do still think that STO has enough activity, enough money going into it that we're probably going to continue seeing development for at least the next 3 to 5 years, I would say. And for those of you that have been hesitant about whether or not to put money into the game since the layoff rumors dropped, I do think that you're still fine to put money in if there were things that you were planning to get. Regardless of what happens, I fully expect that anything that any of us buy will still be able to be used and enjoyed for the next several years. However, if you have been holding off for the past 2 weeks, then it might not be a bad idea to continue holding off until the Black Friday sales near the end of November. That's about 3 to 4 weeks out, and that'll give you some time to see if anything does happen, and will net you a bit more for your money when you do put the money in. If the Black Friday sales are anything like they were last year, then it's probably going to be a 20% Zen charge bonus or sale depending on the platform, 25% off everything in the C store, and a mud sale where it's 75% off on the non-bundle items and 50% on the bundle or bundles that they have up. Personally, I have been planning to pick up some Zen during the Black Friday sales to have on hand for the anniversary bundle in February, and even with the recent rumors, am still planning to do so. And lastly, remember, if we all stop putting money into the game and stop spending our normal amounts on the game out of fear of the game's longevity, we're just going to make the situation worse. So if you had a certain amount that you were putting in on a regular basis, or you had things that you were wanting to pick up, then I think, again, you're still safe to do so. And aside from those clips that I played before, there is a couple other things from the 10 forward that I do want to highlight. Again, thank you to the Suju Car for going through and typing this transcript up. The first thing here is that on PC, following the Halloween event, we're going to be getting a Red Alert event, and then after that Red Alert, sometime in November, we are going to be getting the Feast event. The Feast event will be the 5th and final event in the year-long event campaign, and that is a return of the event that we saw last year, that will have Bug Hunt and Swarm as the 2 queues that you can play daily to get your progress. We don't know what the reward from it is going to be, But the main point there is that is the 5th and final event for the event campaign. So for those of you that have been waiting for it so that you can get your event campaign reward, it is quickly approaching. Now, for those of you over on console, given that Incursion is dropping next week, and then after that, the winter event's going to be running in December, you're probably not going to be getting this feast event on console until sometime in January. So, bit of a delay there, but you guys are going to have plenty of other things to keep you busy for the next couple of weeks. And Kale stated that the current storyline is planned to run through the 15th anniversary in 2025. So, again, for those of you worried about the longevity of STO, there is another comment to reassure you that the game is not going anywhere anytime soon. Next up, Kale also stated that we're going to be getting more advanced and elite TFO options soon. So, all of the Terran TFOs that have released over the past couple of years were released in a normal only state, and there's been a lot of pressure to get them to turn on the advanced and elite versions of them, and it sounds like that may finally be happening sometime in the near future. So Elite Operation Wolf is going to be a very interesting queue to run whenever that goes live. Kale also stated that the chances are much higher of us getting a playable Borg assimilator compared to a Borg cube. So for those of you that like the assimilator design, that may be a ship that you get to fly at some point. And Kale said that we're going to be getting a ship in November that we're going to like, probably a promo or lockbox ship, just judging by the release schedule. And the winter ship in December is going to be an older ship with a very cool design. So, some interesting ships potentially coming up in the near future. Looking forward to seeing what the stats look like. And for those of you over on console, there's just a couple of events active right now. Most of the blogs that you guys have been getting are related to the upcoming Incursion season. Most of these topics I have already covered on the channel, but if you would like for me to do a recap of everything to expect in the Incursion season, then please let me know down in the comment section down below, and I'll see if I can get something tossed together for later this week. Now, the first event currently running on console is an upgrade weekend. I am a bit late to getting the news done, as many of you can tell. So, this event has been running for the past couple of days and is going to be ending tomorrow. So, if you have any upgrades you want to get done, make sure to do so by 12 p.m. Pacific time on October 30th. The other sale currently running on console is a 35% legendary sale. This started up on October 26th and is running through November 1st, so you have a few more days to jump in and take advantage of it. But alongside the 35% legendary bundle sale, there is also a return of the 10th anniversary bundle to console up through November 1st. So if you have been waiting for the 10th bundle to come back into the C store, now is a good time to go in and pick it up. Heading over to the PC side of things, the Muds Awesome Mix bundle is now live, and alongside it, there is a 75% sale on all of the non-bundle items in the Mud store up through November 2nd. So if you have any of the standalone items in the Mud store you've been wanting to pick up, definitely take advantage of that. There's also a 25% key sale running from October 27th up through November 1st. So if you're wanting to pick up some master keys or the 20 keyring pack, that sale is good, but it will also be matched by the Black Friday sales at the end of November if you don't want to put money in right now. And for the PC patch notes this week, there was a ton of visual fixes for a variety of ships. So it looks like one of the ship artists had a lot of fixes they were working on over time, and they just all got dumped in here with this patch. No other changes outside of those customization fixes, but those are really nice to see, including for some older ships here, like the Vaudouar Juggernaut resolves some minor gaps on it. So some really good fixes here, and is much appreciated to see. And for those of us on PC, we have unfortunately had the dilithium backlog return, and over the past week, it has been steadily growing. So if you go to the DilEx and you go to the Cells End tab, you can see the current status of the backlog. It is currently at 1.4 million. Now you're probably wondering, why is this happening? Well, it's probably a combination of issues. Number one, the previous event, the Borg Tesseract thing, was bugged, and once you finished the 14 days of the event, the dilithium you got for continuing to run the event afterwards was not actually working on that 20-hour timer. It was working for every single run that you would do. So during the Borg Tesseract event, every single Resistance to Starbase 1 that you ran after you completed the 14 days of the event was giving you the daily bonus dilithium and incrementing it up to the next day's worth. So that was up for a couple weeks, and that did result in some people farming millions upon millions of dilithium. So Cryptic, it did not go through and remove any of that dilithium as far as I'm aware. So that is certainly not helping. There's also the combination of, people being a bit hesitant to put money into the game right now, given the recent layoff stuff, like I talked about before. There's also the fact that some people are intentionally not putting money in because they're waiting for the Black Friday sales. And then last week, there was also a ship sale that made some people want Zen. And there's also the Halloween event, which was bugged in that it was completable in 7 days rather than 14. So just a combination of factors, and there's going to be a lot of Zen demand here over the next 2 months. Well, I guess three actually, because you're going to have people wanting Zen for the Black Friday sales. You're going to have people wanting Zen for the winter sales, and you're going to have people wanting Zen for the anniversary bundle that's going to be dropping in February. So just a really bad combo of things for the DilEx. Hopefully, if there's like a Phoenix event, people are going to be wailing in and trying to get T6X upgrade tokens with that. So hopefully, we get one of those soon to help bring the DilEx back down a little bit. But right now, it's probably going to remain in this backlog state for the next couple of weeks. With the amount of Zen people are going to want for things, I just don't see it coming back down in the foreseeable future unless there's a really good like Phoenix sale or Phoenix edition. And for those of you that missed picking up the Eaglemoss STO Ent-F back in September, Master Replicas does have a handful more available if you're wanting to pick one up. And they did post on social media that they are going to have some more available on Thursday, November 16th, along with some of the other Enterprise variants. So if you've been wanting to pick one of these up, then hop on over there. I'll have links down below. Just note that the shipping time for Master Replicas is a little bit slow. I placed an order for this Enterprise F and a few other ships back on September 15th, and I only got my shipping notification on October 28th. So you probably won't have to wait as long for shipping, but don't be surprised if it takes a couple weeks for things to get shipped out. And the last thing for today is that the time is running out if you want to get a 3D printed ship through the STO Game Print partnership. In just a couple days, this partnership is ending, and you will no longer be able to place an order for a 3D printed ship from STO. So make sure to act fast. You guys have until the end of Tuesday, October 31st, to go in and place an order for a 3D printed ship. And if you don't have a ship, you can get someone else to go in and upload the ship to the website for you. And they do also have a library here of ships that you can browse if you want to find a specific ship that you're interested in. Just note that there are some ships that are unable to be 3D printed, like the Inquiry or the Legendary Arbiter. You can't print some skins, and that happens to be one of them. So make sure to act fast. Just a few days left. And like I said when I talked about this earlier this month, I wasn't too impressed with the smaller sized 3D model that I got from them a couple years ago, but many people have had good experiences with like the 5 and 7-inch size ships. So make sure to hop in and get your order placed here by the 31st. And that's going to be it for today. Again, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. I know October especially has been a really quiet month for me content-wise. Just been a combo of being a little bit burnt out on STO. You guys know how it is with event fatigue, and just being a bit busy IRL. I'm going to be trying to put a bit more time into things here in November, trying to make sure I'm getting at least 2 to 3 videos out a week, with one of those being the news video, of course. And I've got a couple content plans that should be a bit easier for me to fit into my schedule to make that possible. So I know I haven't been able to deliver on all the content that I'd been wanting to get to, but eventually I will get to it. It's just that things sometimes take a bit more time, and real life throws you curveballs sometimes. So Again, thank you for all the support and the patience, and I will see you guys around.